What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Monday to all of you. It is March 8th. It is warming up. The sun is shining. Let's have ourselves a big week and attack this NHL card. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on odds.com. 3 games I will be attacking for possible giant scores, but still struggling on the season, single digits down. Don't like it. 52 wins, 64 losses, 44.8%. My average line is plus 128. As I've said many times on the show, if I'm at 47%, I'm going to be healthy in the black. I'm down 5.47 units. My ROI minus 4.72%. It is time to heat up right now. Let's get to work, shall we? We start at 9 p.m. Eastern. Arizona Coyotes at Colorado Avalanche. We have Arizona opening up at plus 165. That hasn't changed at Bet 365. Depending on where you shop, you can get anywhere between plus 158 and plus 165. The total for this game is sitting at 5.5. It opened plus 100 to the over. It's now minus 105 towards the over. I'm quite hesitant at betting totals when you're dealing with the favorite being very undermanned. It makes me think that the under is live. If more money was pushed towards the over, I may make a move on the under. I certainly am skeptical of taking a juiced under at this point, but we'll see what the market does. What I have moved on is the Arizona Coyotes minus 1. That's a money line at plus 165 and a puck line at the biggest one so far of the season for us, plus 450, which gives me a minus 1 at plus 343. Those of you who want to just take the money line at plus 165, it's a great bet. And value-wise, I think it's the best bet on the board. But I am going to go for a big score. Let's talk about it. This Coyotes team, 11-10-3, 4-3-0 on the road. At the Colorado Avalanche, 13-7-2, 6-3-1 at home. Darcy Kemper has returned. Another reason why I like the Yotes in this spot. 7-7-2, 2.39 goals against average, 9.15 save percentage, 1 shutout. Antti Raanta was somebody that I expected to step up over the last couple of years, and I thought he was going to be the starting goaltender, for the Coyotes, but it's Kemper. Kemper is the guy. Ranta's been dealing with a bunch of injuries. Kemper's dealt with some injuries himself, but he is a number 1 netminder in the NHL and someone that you can have faith in and confidence in. Philip Grubauer, the goaltender I expect across the rink with the Avalanche, 12-6-0, 2.06 goals against average, 9.21 save percentage, 3 shutouts. Yotes power play sitting at 20.5%. Their penalty killing 82.7%. Very strong special teams for them. Not quite as strong as Colorado Avalanche, who before the season started were the slight favorites to win the Stanley Cup. 23.5% power play and 86.6% penalty killing. Coyotes are coming off an interesting 2-game series at home versus the Wild and showed a lot of heart. And there are the teams that I'm backing on this card, you'll see some distinct similarities, and that being winning their last game, so momentum and revenge. So momentum and revenge, you'll see that throughout this card here, and the Coyotes are a perfect example of this. After losing the first game against the Wild 5-1, and we were on the Wild minus 1 in that spot, the Coyotes were down 2-0 after the first period in game 2, and they dug deep. They scored 5 unanswered goals. They won 5-2. It was a good sign. If you're a Yotes backer, it was a really good sign that they would dig in and fight back against a Wild team that clearly had their number. They won the face-off battle in both games against the Wild. That's a key statistic. I need a team that has puck possession. They also out-hit the Wild, and I've called out this Coyote team for being too soft, and what Rick Tocchet has done is he's added some size on the 3rd and 4th line. The top forwards on the Coyotes are small, and that's imperative to add size somewhere throughout the lineup. Now, Phoenix has a balanced attack. They have Clayton Keller and Christian Dvorak on the top line, Nick Schmaltz and Connor Garland, their leading scorer on the second line, and old sweet tits Phil Kessel on the third line. So they're capable of scoring throughout their lineup. They've lost 3 of 5 games overall, and 2 of those losses came at the hands of these Avalanche. Colorado came into Phoenix, beat them 3-2 and 6-2 on back-to-back nights last weekend, Friday, Saturday. There is revenge in mind from this Coyotes team that just showed heart coming back against the Wild. And 2016 first-round draft pick Jacob Chicherin out of the Sarnia Sting is playing excellent hockey, man. And adding him to a defense that already has Goligoski and Ekman-Larsson gives you a strong defensive core. I love the Coyotes here tonight. Love them. Love them. I think they come into battle. Now, the Avalanche have been handling their injuries very well, and they're decimated. And it's possible that they get some of these guys back. It really is. But it's also possible that they get none of them back. They played their last 2 games without star Nathan MacKinnon. He's got an upper body injury. You don't want to put him in a situation where it could be much worse. They've been without Matt Calvert for 2 weeks. JT Compher went down with an upper body injury in the first game against the Ducks. But it's on defense where they've been hit the hardest. And, we've said the same thing on this show for now. This is the 4th year of us, making every bet public and capping together. And that's if a team is down 2 of their top 4 defensemen, fade them, fade them, fade them. Now, I was afraid to do that because the Ducks are such a poor hockey club, but I should have. Ducks won 5-4 in overtime for a huge score. Star defenseman Cale Makar has missed 5 straight games with an upper body injury. He was never put on IR, so clearly they believe that he could come back at some point. That could be tonight. 2019 4th overall pick Bowen Byram is being put on IR with an upper body injury. It's retroactive to February 27th, so if he's healthy, he could be reinstated in the lineup immediately. Is he healthy? I mean, I don't have that information. They've been playing most of the year without Eric Johnson as well, a leader, a first-round draft pick from a long time ago. So now he's not a top 4 defenseman, but that's a lot taken out of your defensive core. Now Samuel Girard has stepped up in a big way, and I love him. But you're asking a young defenseman to anchor this unit. It's not easy. The Coyotes want revenge. Here is a golden opportunity to exact it. I think this is a great, great spot for the Yotes. I'm on the -1 plus 343. If you want a money line plus 165, it's a great spot. But I'm going for the big score. You know how I do. We move on. 10 p.m. Eastern. Montreal Canadiens 11-6-6, 6-1-5 on the road at the Vancouver Canucks. 11-15-2, 7-6-2 at home. I'm on the Vancouver Canucks here. -1 at plus 259. That's a money line of plus 135 and a puck line of plus 350. Let's see what we're talking about in the marketplace here. For the total, we will start there in the Habs Knuckleheads game. We have a 6, juice to the over, -122 towards the over. For the money line, we have the Knuckleheads opening up at plus 130. They're now at plus 135, and that's where I got them. And I think this market is wrong. Simply, I don't see the Canucks being this big of a dog. And I thought at worst it would be a -140 for the Habs, plus 120 for the Canucks. When I woke up to plus 130 and then it moved to plus 135, I was surprised. Habs power play 21.9%. Their penalty killing 76.7%. The Canucks power play 20.2%. Their penalty killing 81% and moving in the right direction. I expect Carey Price to be in goal. He was in goal for that 7-1 victory over the Jets. He's 7-4-3, 2.83 goals against average, 898 save percentage. He's not been very good. Jake Allen has outplayed him, but you're going to pay a guy $10 million, 10.5. You have to hope he's, between the pipes, not sitting on your bench, wallowing. Thatcher Demko, I pray that Thatcher Demko is in goal tonight. If Braden Holtby's in goal, I may have to take the other side, man. But Thatcher Demko, how do you not go back to him? This team beats the Leafs twice in 3 nights. Thatcher Demko is very strong in net in both those. We have to get hot with Thatcher in net. 7-9-1, 2.87 goals against average, 913 save percentage, 1 shutout. Let's talk about Le Habitant After losing 3 straight to the Jets, the Canadiens finally got past Winnipeg on Saturday night 7-1. It was a big win for a team that started the season so strong and fell apart enough to get Claude Julien fired. Josh Anderson returned to the lineup. That's a big boost. He started on the line with Toffoli and Kotkaniemi. That's a good line. And Tyler Toffoli and Josh Anderson are exactly the kind of players that the Canucks need and that any team in the NHL needs. And the Tatar, Danault, Gallagher line was excellent, finally. They've not looked good this year. Tatar's been a healthy scratch. Danault can't find the back of the net. Then the Habs on Sunday fly all the way across the country to Vancouver to begin a 6-game road trip. Now, they're a healthy squad, but I sit here thinking, man, should they really be this big of a favorite? Should they be? I don't think they should be. The Canucks have a chance to build on something after defeating the Leafs twice in 3 nights. They've won 3 of 4. They have to continue that on this homestand. I mean, the whole season's on the line on this homestand. They have the Habs tonight, again in 2 nights, and then the Oilers. They have to win these hockey games. They were very fortunate to beat the Habs 6-5 in a shootout in their first meeting. Since then, the Habs have beaten Vancouver badly in 4 straight. Here's a chance for the Canucks to show some heart and exact revenge. Fucking revenga. Brock Besser is heating up. That's because JT Miller is now a center. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Canucks are a better team without Elias Pettersson on the ice. But he spends a lot of time at the half wall, waiting for the puck. And JT Miller is the best player on the Vancouver Canucks. By far, if you look at the Corsi ratings. He's ranked as the 7th best centerman in the National Hockey League by Corsi ratings. The Canucks are a much better team with him at center. It's now or never for the Vancouver Canucks. And look, if this was a pick'em, I wouldn't be so adamant about backing the Canucks. But at this number, I don't know how you don't. Home dog when they must win, and they've shown their first real signs of confidence. This is a spot where I'm backing the Vancouver Knuckleheads. -1 at +259. That's a money line at +135. A puck line of 350. Now we move on to another game at 10 p.m. Eastern, which I think is the easiest bet on the card. I'm not going to go and tell you it's the best bet because I really love the Yotes at this number. But this is the easiest bet on the card. The Los Angeles Kings -1 at +136. They're 10-8-5 on the year, 6-5-1 on the road, and they're at the Anaheim Ducks, 7-12-6, 3-7-3 at home. Let's take a look at the market right now. We have the Ducks opening up at +100. There's been no movement there. You can get them from anywhere between +100 and +109. And I think that money's going to come in on the Kings. That's simple. Money's going to come in on the Kings. I think this is lined wrong. I really do. I was expecting at least -130 +110, which I think it gets to in a couple hours. The total here is juiced to the under, heavy at 5.5, -130. And I get it. And it's the first thing I think of when I see Kings Ducks, especially with the way the Kings play the 1-3-1. But you have to ask yourself, at -130, does it really have a 56.5% chance of hitting? This is a Ducks team that now allows 2.96 goals a game. And the more I dug into the stats, the more I thought, well, if I had a free bet on the total here, I would take the over at a plus line. I just don't trust the Ducks defense. Now, the Kings play a 1-3-1, and we're going to want unders with them often. But I think we take unders with them against high-scoring teams so that we get less juice. Johnny Quick, I expect to be in goal. Now, Peterson's outplayed him this year, but Quick has shown signs of being the stud he once was. 6-4-2 on the year, 2.87 goals against average, 898 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Johnny Gibson, I expect to be in between the pipes for the Ducks, 5-10-5, 2.79 goals against average, 0.904 save percentage, 3 shutouts. Kings special teams have been great. 25.3% power play, 81.9% penalty killing. The Ducks special teams, well, the penalty killing is always good, but their power play, 13.6%. It's going to be weak all year. The Kings snapped their 4-game losing streak with a big 4-3 overtime win at home over the Blues on Saturday night. They were down 3-0. They showed a ton of heart fighting back. They faced the Ducks just once this season, and they lost 3-1. The Kings need to go into Anaheim and defeat them. They have to win this game. Remember, this is a short season, 56-game year. Their 6-game winning streak in mid-February showed this is a better team than we've seen the last few years. Kopitar, Brown, Doughty are playing inspired hockey. They have to go into Anaheim against this weak hockey team and beat them soundly if they want any chance of glory this year. And I expect them to do just that. Coming back from 3-0 down to a Blue squad that had just beaten them showed a lot of heart. And I expect that to carry over to this game. The Ducks snapped their 9-game losing streak with a 5-4 overtime win against a severely undermanned Avalanche squad. The fact that they were able to play the Avalanche so closely is the reason why we're getting value here. That was an Avalanche team missing key cogs all over the ice. The Ducks team is very weak up front, and we've broken it down. We've talked about this Ducks team needing offense from guys like Troy Terry and Sam Steele. They're just not going to get it. Poor Getzlaf. Getzlaf is available at the trade deadline, and the Ducks want to move him. And I know a lot of teams that would want him for a playoff run. They're very weak up front, and they've been dealing with the loss of Hampus Lindholm on the back end. You're asking Cam Fowler to be the anchor of this defense. That's very difficult. It's a weak defense. The Ducks are not strong defensive. They're not the team that we remember them to be. And the fact that we could get the Kings at -120 is unbelievable. It's the easiest bet on the board, not necessarily the best bet, but I'm going for the score. I'm on the Kings -1 at +136. And that concludes my NHL action for this Monday, March 8th. Arizona Coyotes -1 at +343. Vancouver Canucks -1 at +259. And LA Kings -1 at +136. That is my NHL card. All we need is the Coyotes or the Knuckleheads at -1 to cash and guaranteed profit. If the Kings are the one team that cashes, and it's not going to be too bad of a day. But we've put ourselves in a situation for a huge, giant score. And that's what I like to do. That's what makes gambling fun for me. I like to go for big scores on single game bets. That's what I'm doing here. And I know that other cappers want big scores. They parlay. That's fine. But for me, a -1 gives me the opportunity for a big score. And I love it. Thank you guys so much for supporting our NHL show here on this Monday, March 8th. I'm going to be shooting another show this evening. So we will have more NHL action for you on Tuesday, March 9th. And I love it. I just eat this shit up. So thank you guys so much for your support. Have a giant start to the week. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's get hot. Let's eat. Let's cash. Let's have a giant week. It's getting warmer out there. Let the sunshine in, baby. Get paid in full.